Hello and a very warm welcome to you. I am Jo Chitty and I'm one of those people that tells you how to use LinkedIn. And I wonder if you have ever seen one of those posts that says, "This is how I got these amazing results." And you can too. And you're scrolling and you're looking at a video of the results, or you're you're looking at the strategy and you think, yes, I can do this. And so you implement it and you get nowhere near the same results as that LinkedIn trainer or that marketer. And you start to think, what is wrong with me? I've got absolutely zero from this. And your confidence goes, and you call into question your own ability. And I've had that with many, many new clients actually, who have said, I followed this person's program, I did all that they said, and I got zero results. Excuse me. And it makes me smile every time, because those strategies were made for that marketer. They weren't made for you and your business and how you best work. And that's what we're going to address today. When in a LinkedIn world, for most of us, there is lower reach. We're having to work harder to just get some results, let alone the same results. And I kind of wish, hey, bring LinkedIn back 4 years ago, where you could write a post, get 2 clients, get 8K in the bank, and life was easy and you could focus on dealing with clients. So, oh, excuse me. Didn't have a frog in my throat until I clicked go live. So I want to address that overwhelm that I actually hear many of you messaging me about, where you feel you're trying everything and nothing is quite working. But you've got something that is really worth sharing and can transform clients. I'm just getting my other screen up. So those LinkedIn gurus, those big marketers who get these amazing results, that's not your strategy, but we can make it your strategy. And that's what I'm going to share with you in this brief lunchtime learning, is how you can decide whether one strategy is 100% right for you and how you can use it long term. And the subtitle that I put for this on the LinkedIn event was how to test your way to unstoppable LinkedIn results. And that's what I'm talking about. I am talking about changing a mindset from having a goal, I'm going to get 2 clients every week or 2 clients every month, to looking at the strategies that are out there, because there are some amazing strategies, and saying, how can I best get 2 clients a month that doesn't kill me, doesn't bring in overwork, doesn't create frustration, that I know now absolutely works for me. If you want to follow along, earlier this week on Tuesdays, it's Thursday now, so a couple of days ago, I did a carousel that said, steal this 5-step experiment that the LinkedIn gurus don't want you to talk about. And so I'm unpacking that now at greater detail. And in my business, I have so many strategies that I've used, that my clients have used, and they don't all work for me and they don't all work for my clients. But the point is, we look at where they're at, what they're good at, and we then say, okay, here is, for example, one that we've been using quite a bit lately is a workshop strategy. Let's put this in place for 2 months and see what the data is. And so it's using micro experiments. It's called the LinkedIn Experiment Framework, micro experiments, where we have one end goal, that is to learn. So let's say content on LinkedIn is always a big topic. They don't have enough of it, and yet they're still not putting reach out. And I think as I look at the content, many of us are creating content that worked 2-3 years ago, and it doesn't work now because we change as the platform changes. The platform responds to our behavior. We respond to all the new stuff that's coming out. So we have to go on a journey of learning. And I don't know about you, but when I create goals, I rarely reach 100% of 100% of the goals that I set. And maybe it's just me. Put in the comment. And by the way, if you're watching this on the replay, do please let me know. Just pop replay it. So, maybe we want more content and have hiring more. Maybe we want higher engagement with our content, not more content. We don't want to be doing more content because that's just draining. Because that's great. That's a great context to be reaching out to people. So we can look at improving that, but we want to form a hypothesis. So we don't want to say, okay, I'm going straight out. My goal is to get 10 more engagements, 10 more comments on every post. That's not going to happen. We have to learn what's working and what isn't working. So this hypothesis, 3 parts to it. It's really, really simple. You have one action, expect one result in a time frame. So if I take an action and we expect a result within a month, say. So as we're talking about content, let's stay on that. If I post 5 times a week within the next 30 days, so that's my action, posting 5 times a week as opposed to maybe 3, within the next 30 days, then I expect or I anticipate that my average post will grow in 10% engagement compared to last month. So what we now got is 3 tiny little experiments, 3 free frameworks within that experiment that we can start to test. Because how many of you put stuff out over the weeks, the month, even the years, and you've never, ever tested it? You've never looked at the analytics, and you look at what everybody else is doing and you go, oh, that seems to be working for them. I'll try it for me. So I want to stop that. I want you to get into the mindset that when you make any changes, you do tiny experiments. You do these micro experiments that inform you, because I'm sure that you're in your business for the long haul. You are on LinkedIn for the long haul. LinkedIn is a long game, and this is what it's all about. So we're going to continue that theme of content, that we are going to post 5 times a day for 30 days. And we're going to anticipate we're going to be moving towards our engagement increasing by just 10%. Now, there's lots of elements in content, as there are in sending DMs. I'm going to be talking about that next week. As there is in your profile, tons of elements. So if we just put up a new style post, whop it up, and then go, oh, look, it's got less engagement, we're never going to know which part of that has worked or has not worked, has caused the post to bomb. So we need to control the variables. This makes it really simple. So it might be that we change the hook. We have a new style of hook. And of course, the LLMs, the ChatGPTs, etc., whatever you use, they're great at creating different hooks like this. So you're not spending a huge amount of time. So you might change your hook. You might change the format that you write the post. You might change the angle that you write the post. And what I suggest is that you use posts you've already written. So for the next 30 days, you repurpose posts. And you should be doing this anyway. We have an evergreen folder that it's a file, actually. Folder sounds glamorous, doesn't it? An evergreen file. And when there's a post that either gets traction or I think is really good and speaks really well about what I do or garners attention, it goes into that folder. And the great thing is we apply this test that I'm sharing with you now and we repurpose. So if you're doing 5 pieces of content every week, you only need to create 3 new ones. So it might be the angle that you're coming from. It might be the CTA at the bottom, or do you put a little bit of information about you at the bottom? It might be the time that you post. It might be the image that you put up. It might be the style of media. So there's a ton of different elements within that you want to be testing, and you want to do it one at a time. So we're going to control those variables. So if, for example, I think, okay, I now post at 1 p.m. and it catches my American market. And that means that I don't always ride the wave of the early morning risers on LinkedIn. And so if I was to go back to posting maybe at 7:30, there's tons of variables that I need to be tracking and measuring. And the way that I do that is, again, with a 3-part formula. And this has come from, I've just closed the tab. So I'm on, is it Anne-Marie Lecumpf? Anne-Laure Lecumpf, who is a French psychologist and really good at helping. In fact, she's written a book called Tiny Experiments, and we've always done micro experiments, but really good at hitting your goals, getting the little stuff done. And so, yeah, if you want to go and check her out, do. And she has this format, so it's not mine. She has this format that is minus, plus, next. So when you're tracking and measuring your venerables, your variables, you want the hardcore data. Now, a great app for that is, blimey, it's just gone out of my head, is the Shield app, the LinkedIn Shield app. What I love this app. And you get graphs of all your data. So you can track your data in that. And there's so many other good things. Go and check it out. It's not expensive. But we want to be looking at, okay, what were the negatives of changing the time to an earlier morning start? It might be that I don't get up in time. I'm a night owl. I come alive in the evening, even if I'm knackered. It might be that I lose some of my American audience. So my content, my post isn't there and available like it would be if I posted at 1 p.m. It might be that I just need to make another cup of tea and I'm not on my comments in the way that I would normally be if I'm posting at 1 o'clock and I've had a few hours of working, I'm in the zone. So those are the negatives. And it's important to look at the hardcore data, the analytics, and how it makes me feel. So I might also puts a bit of pressure on me. I'm thinking, I have to get up. I'm thinking about it in my sleep. Oh, I've got to get up and post. I've got to get up in time to engage before my scheduled post goes out. So, that would be a negative. What are the positives? So the positives are I'm getting more reach. I'm reaching more people. I know that it's done before the I get on with my day. And so you want to list all of these out, just create an Excel spreadsheet. We love Google Sheets. I couldn't live without Google Sheets and Google Docs. My business is built on it. And have a look and weigh up what is your next step. And so that simple framework of minus, plus, next enables you to make a really good and informed choice. You've tracked, you've measured, and now you've reviewed it with this minus, plus, next framework. And you know, do I need to adapt that after reviewing? What is next? And it might be that you're happy with the result and you can move on to the next thing. And the next thing might be the days that you post. It might be the type of post that you have. So this is a really simple framework that means I now know what works for me and what doesn't. It also means that I'm not wasting time, energy, lost opportunity, posting endless content and not getting the best out of this opportunity that LinkedIn offers. So you're then going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And to be frank, all of the businesses that are growing are tracking in some way. And I just think this is a really easy format to start that whole process. So what could you do it with? Well, you've got your profile. So there's questions to ask when somebody lands on my profile. Is it going to resonate with the people that I know I can help? And is it going to reject? Is it going to repel the people that I know I don't want to be speaking to or spending time in the DMs? So that's, what's the first impression? You want to be looking at your about section. Is that making people take action? And of course, I think the best part of a LinkedIn profile is your featured section. Am I taking enough people into my ecosystem that it starts to build trust for me without me being there, because they're going to your content, they're having a look at your program page and services page. What about, do you have enough recommendations? Because people will look for social proof and ratings. So you can do this with your profile. You can do this with content, as we've already said. You can do this with a daily strategy. I'm really hot on this daily strategy of things that you can do in sequence to get the most out of the connections that you have and growing your network. You can do it with growing your network. You can do it with your DMs, and it just highlights, doesn't it? You can do it with anything. You can do it with growing your email list, which is a huge asset for every business. And if you haven't got one yet, start one now. It comes down to that old adage, doesn't it? When was the best time to start your email? 5 years ago. If you haven't done it, do it now. So you want to be monitoring. You don't want to be doing any of this blind. And I get it. It's a bum ache. It is a serious bum ache setting this up and getting into the mindset of doing it with everything. But the upside of that is it means you are starting to become a better marketer. You're not operating blind, which I reckon most people are on LinkedIn, who aren't tracking what they're doing, who aren't tracking leads. I mean, that shocking story of I emptied my LinkedIn box years ago when it was really a mess and it wasn't at all intuitive. And there were something like 42 requests for help, and I'd missed them. But I think the competition these days is harder for many. And so we don't want to be missing those. So start getting in that mindset of tracking all that you're doing and doing these tiny micro experiments. Because if you can become a better marketer, and with AI we can put automations in place, you can reduce the amount of wasted time of all of those pieces of content that just haven't landed, haven't given you enough engagers. And this is what I'm going to be talking about next week, how you use those people that engage with you to get more, but not in the way that you think. And so you want to be thinking longer term. How can I make myself a better marketer? How can I generate more engagement from my leads? How can I better use my time on LinkedIn? Let's start testing it. And doing these micro experiments means that you have then got the data of strategies that work for you, not for somebody else. And that's how we know that a LinkedIn strategy is 100% built for us, because we've tested it, we've tried it, and we know that it suits us. We've tweaked the areas that aren't quite working for us, but we know that it's for us. And so we can run it out in good faith, knowing it's going to be time well spent. And that's what I want from you. I'm getting in my inbox a lot more people saying, help. Leads have just dropped off. So around sort of April, May, June time, a lot of people were reaching out and saying, help, leads have just dropped off for me. Because they were sensing the pinch that AI, for example, with certain copywriters, they were sensing the pinch that people weren't reaching out to them so much because AI could do a lot of the heavy lifting. And we're going to find that. We're going to find with a lot of our industries that we are competing against AI. So let's make these platforms. And of course, it doesn't have to be just LinkedIn that you're doing it. It's a mindset with whatever you're doing to do these micro experiments, so that we can say, so if I was to come into your business and you say that strategy absolutely works, and I can predict that each week I will get 5 DMs where people say they're interested, and I can either send them the details about my program or service, or we can jump on a call, whatever your choice of converting people is. And converting clients and sales conversations is a great one to do these micro experiments with. So that was a little one for the summer. And I'd love to know what you've taken from this. If you want to see some of this in written down, go to my profile and my activity, and you will see, I'm just clicking through it, you will see it is called the LinkedIn Experiment Frameworks. It's called Steal This 5-Step Experiment, the LinkedIn gurus don't talk about. And it's sort of a limey green. So go, and I'd love to hear from you to see what you're testing, because I think the sky's the limit, and also how you're getting on. If you've got any questions, of course, always reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn almost consistently. I'm really happy to answer your questions. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Next week, I'm going to be speaking about how to find more of the people like your clients and set up a DM ladder, so that you're not spending hours using AI, by the way. So you're not spending hours looking for the right people, but you let LinkedIn find you people that you've already worked with, and you're sending them, you're communicating with them straight away. It is a fun strategy. And I will be working with a few people to set that up for them the following week. Okay, my time is up, and tons of love to you. And I look forward to seeing how you start implementing micro experiments so that you stop the overwhelm and the guesswork, but find strategies that are really 100% built for you. Tons of love. Take care. Bye-bye.